I'm there now. I've been doing that. I've been pressing it and nothing happened. Damn. What a naughty YouTube. Hang on, let's just pretend that it's just happening. Hang on. See, we whizzed through it. We went through really quick and nobody noticed. Flipping heck. Right, let me put this over here and see what the heck's going on there. We'll reset that. That's gone there. We'll turn a little bit of music down a little bit, just a little tiny bit. Hello! I'm so sorry. I was having such a wonderful day. I was there going, hello, Crystal, and hello, Ray, and oh, I love you guys. You're amazing, and thank you so much for joining me on one of my favourite shows of the week, if not the favourite show of the week. I don't know what happened. I genuinely don't. I did everything that I just did. It didn't work. The only thing that I did differently was I deleted a couple of shows that were scheduled a couple of days back and didn't happen. So I don't know, mate. I don't know what happened. So I don't know. But anyway, hello. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I had all these people turn up. They went, yay, the Rokk Show. Oh, no, he's not on. Okay, back to work. Oh, look who's in the chat. It's only William. How are you, brother? How you keeping? Wow, there you go. Another fantastic piece of great news on this Good News Wednesday. We got William in the chat. How amazing is that? I'm assuming you are home, my friend. And I'm sure that you are doing it and working life and getting there, and it's a day-by-day thing. But from what I've been told, it all went swimmingly, which is great news. Not that I ever imagined it wouldn't. But what a great way to start a kind of rebooted Good News Wednesday. Flipping heck, Tucker. Get the music down there. Doing better every day at physical therapy. See, he's my boy. I knew it. He's Superman. Super Tuesdays should be dedicated to William. And instead of Super Tuesdays, we should call them the Bionic SPG. Because they have rebuilt him. He's bionic. He is. He's able to leap buildings with a simple backpack from Starfield, and he's gone. I was having and still am. Now I'm back online. This is good news. I'm having such a fantastic Wednesday. I'm having the best week, guys, I've had in such a long time. Largely, and not too dissimilar, in fact, to last week when Crystal had a great Wednesday, because, you know, she was getting back to the things she loved, her home and her family and stuff. And in a way, that's true, because I've had my girls back this week, both of them home now. One of them's completely finished uni. And it's not 26. I think he was 64 million, wasn't he? I can't remember. He was six. He was $6 million, wasn't he? I'm guessing that was a dollar sign that missed out there. They definitely rebuilt me, but not for the 6 million. See, back in those days, I guess 6 million was substantially worth more. Let me have a little peepers. I tell you what, we could even ask ChatGPT, because I've got it built in. How much would $6 million in today's money? Is that how we do it? No, let's do it differently. How much $6 million in 1974, I think it came out, be worth in 2023? Sleeping all day. That's one of my favourite things to do. Right, here we go. Wow. Come on then. How much do you think? I actually knew it'd be fairly substantial. This is the thing. Whenever they say something like, I don't know, Avatar has beat The Wizard of Oz. They'll say something like, Avatar has done $1 billion at the box office, whereas Star Wars only did 12 million. It's like, no, you've got to get your inflation in there. So $6 million in today's money in 1974. So if you took $6 million in 1974 And what's it worth today? The answer, believe it or not, $37.2 million. I was about to say billion. It's not quite that much. So just shy of $37.5 million. That's the difference, you see. And equally, when $1 billion today, let's just do the same thing. What would $1 billion? What would $1 billion? I saw something unbelievable the other day. It said something like $1 billion, if you counted $1 billion at $1 a second, it would take you 11 years, right? 1, 2, right? If you counted $1 trillion, so bear this in mind, $1 billion would be 11 years. That's long enough, right? It's a substantial amount of cash. $1 trillion. And now we're talking about the money my government has lost, or the money that Apple is worth, right? $1 trillion counted at $1 a second? 32,000 years. That's the difference. Nobody gets the difference. $1 billion and $1 trillion, they are light years apart. When the government says, "Oh, we've spent 1.2 trillion," everyone goes, "Hey, Case Paul, how are you doing, dude?" When the government goes, "Yeah, well, we've spent 1.2 trillion dollars," it's COVID, isn't it? Or it's gas, whatever. That's 32,000 years worth of dollars. Ridiculous. It'd take me a long time to save up for that, Adam's in the house as well. How are you doing, my friend? Roaster. Good to see you. So yes, Good News Wednesday. It's been a cracker. So my daughters have been home. That's been lovely. Took my little old fella dad out yesterday. As some of you may have seen, I put a little vidette up for members only. We had a lovely little afternoon, a couple of hours. It wasn't a great deal of time, just enough to experience, because he's old, bless him, and he can't walk very far. I had to help him all the way up the hill and then help him all the way back down again. But that was okay. There was one minor problem with that. Otherwise, it would have been a fantastic day. The minor problem was that in concentrating on my dear old dad and making sure that he didn't trip up, because even with his walking stick, he's all over the place. In concentrating on my dad, what I hadn't spotted in the moors, right? It's Dartmoor. It's covered in sheep and horses and cattle. And you know what they do all day long. At one end they're eating and the other end it's coming back out the other. I didn't realise till I got in the car, having helped my dear old dad, everyone was going, "What is that smell?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not me. I haven't done nothing." "Oh, you're right." It was on the bottom of my shoe. An animal, and I don't know of what variety either. But we stopped off. We had a cup of coffee in the local farm shop, which was very nice. And I took my shoe off and I spent 10 minutes scrubbing and washing it in the gents under the tap with some soap. And it smelt beautiful after that. Thank you, animal. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. For chat, says Caseball, 5-hour full game trial tomorrow. Wow, 5 hours. Till the 17th for MotoFest. Is that I renewed my Ubisoft Plus recently. Caseball, is it already early access for Ubisoft Pluses? I wonder. I mean, it's not really my kind of game. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a racy kind of fella. I do jump in. I like to jump in, give it one go, and go, yeah, that was all right, and that's me done. Then I get back. Shadow, I can't. Starfield, I'm loving it, but I can't play enough of it because I'm so excited these days. I'm like a puppy. I'll tell you why in a minute. It is on GFN as well. He's correct. Yep, that's I think that's official, isn't it? It's not embargoed. I've got so much. I'm doing so much. I'm creating videos all over the place. And actually, at the moment, none of them for Rokk Show. I'm doing some for my business because I've neglected it marketing-wise for a couple of years. I genuinely have. So I've been banging loads of new articles up on the website to try and get the SEO juices flowing again. And I've just resurrected the YouTube channel for the business. And I'm working on doing some business focused videos around AI and business processes. And so it's boring stuff, guys. Nobody wants to visit it. Miss Phoenix, yes. Yes. Funny, you should say. I'm in a bit of a renaissance with the business at the moment, Phoenix. I've the last couple of years, as you may or may not know, I've not been medically perfect, and I've not been able to devote the time to the business that I used to. But just over the last 10 days, things have changed. I've heard some good news on the medical front, and in fact, it's already kicking in, and I haven't felt so good and so happy, and I'm genuine about this. It's not just because it's Good News Wednesday. I haven't felt this good in a long time. And issues that I had, which are not on the level of Williams, I don't want to overplay this, but issues that I have had have been going away. And it's made me so much happier. And the bizarre thing, and you know they say, don't they, about the whole kind of universe and you know, if you kind of wish to the universe, and for some people it's God, and that's fine. Other people it's just kind of this etheric karma thing, and they say blue pills. No, it's definitely nothing to do with that, dude. No, you put me right off. You put me right off my stroke now, lad. Yeah. So, where was I when he rudely interrupted me? Red pill or blue pill? I think I'll go for the blue pill if you don't mind. Anyway, there you go. I'm happier, and it's good because it's a Wednesday. My lower back has started. Oh no, cowboy! It's Good News Wednesday, mate. What was he saying? Let me bring it back. My lower back has started to hurt really bad for the past 2 weeks, and it's getting worse. What have you been up to? Is this connected with the blue pill thing? Mind you, you've probably been getting back into the whole gym thing since your shoulder, haven't you? See, you do those stupidly high kicks. I watch you flicking your leg up like some can girl. It's no wonder you've done your back in, is it? Mate, you're in your 40s now. You can't be doing stuff like that. That was, when it was wipe on, wipe off and you were 18, that was all good. You can't be doing it now. Hey, you'll be tearing bits of you that you will never repair. Funny enough, I did my back a little bit yesterday as well, and it's all to do with part of my Good News Week, actually. Because I don't know if I told you this, but I think I did. I wanted to get a new an SSD disk. I think I showed you the other day, didn't I? For my PC to replace the hard disk. Anyway, yesterday morning I thought, right, just focus, just get it done. So working with my good friends at Cyberpower PC, I think they're called. Brilliant business. They built this PC for me originally, and they've supported it. They've supported for 5 years. Really good guys. And so he sent me sort of schematics on what I needed to do. And it was a little complicated because I had to kind of take out my graphics, my 3080 graphics card, because the SATA or SATA, depends how you want to call it, ports were underneath the damn thing, which is why I couldn't get it to work, because I was putting it in the wrong SATA port. I didn't know. Anyway, got all that sorted, and then I had to do all sorts of cloning data and upgrading BIOSes, and there was a whole, I'm not a PC guy, but it was a whole myriad of stuff, and I solved it all, and I was so pleased with myself. And then, really good, once I'd done it and I could see that the hard disk, the boot drive, as it were, now an SSD, was twice as fast as the old drive, and it's a 2 terabyte, whereas the previous one was only about gig. So I partitioned it off so that I had like 1.8 gig or something, and I stuffed it full of all my games, because you can do a move thing in Steam and it'll move all your games. And I fired Starfield up this afternoon. Buttery smooth. I was getting the frames were all over the place. It was unbelievable. Ron is here to look at aliens. We can talk aliens, Ron, if you want. I know a bit about aliens, mate. I haven't been to Area 51. I've been to Area 7. It's just outside Tesco's down the road from me. And, you know, there are some very strange people that live behind there. They're often queuing for KFC. But anyway, what's he got? What's he saying? He says, no, I still haven't lifted anything heavier than 5 pounds. Wow, that's boasting. I think it's because I went so long from working. I was told years ago my lower back pulls to the left. Well, it's good for doing the hokey cokey though, Ant. So when I don't work out, it hurts. Yeah, but equally, you can do it the wrong thing and hurt it, can't you? Mate, look, I'm sorry. You're fast approaching 50. Well, you know, a couple of years down the road. I was fine in my 40s. In fact, I was happy. 40s were great. I loved the 40s. 40s were probably my favourite decade, other than the one where I didn't have to worry about anything, like when I was like 7 in 1970, whenever. But this is true, I tell you not, I kid you not, the minute I hit 50, and I'm talking about like 50th birthday, you know, 2 days later, it just starts dropping off, mate. You find yourself going into the chairs, lifting yourself up. I tell you, it's automatic. You don't even know you're doing it. It just happens. It's bizarre. I have no idea why it happens this way, but it does. It's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Why can I smell toast everywhere? Yes, that's toastolitis. That is, mate. That's bad. That is, Sam. Toastolitis. Wow, that's bad news. Oh, don't Google it. Oh, don't Google it. You better not to know. Just live and love life for what you got left. That's all you got to do. Smelling toast. Toastolitis. But you can eat plenty of ice cream when you get toastolitis. It's all good for you. It's all good. Ron, were you at that event a few years ago where there was a planned event to invade Area 51 and steal the aliens? They're not there. They moved them years ago. No, they're all down at Mar-a-Lago these days. He's got them in boxes in the basement. Very occasionally they come out. They look very Trump-like. They wear little MAGA hats with the big heads and the big eyes. They run around going, 2025. It's true. Ron's scared. Don't be scared, mate. Toastolitis is a UK thing. You won't get it over there. But he was at the event. Ron was there, apparently, at the very event. So do you remember when, and in fact, Ant and Dec made a movie about the alien autopsy? The video, I forget the name of the guy, Ron DeSantis. No, that's a crappy senator. I think it was something like that, Ron to somebody. And he reckoned, because he was making a movie, this is his words, he was making a movie about Elvis, and he met up with some soldier or another from the olden days who claimed to have footage of an alien autopsy, which he released. Made an absolute fortune. It was absolute pants, of course. Anyway, I went to the actual original launch of said video. I actually went there and watched it for the first time, and I'm sat there thinking, well, this is bollocks. That's quite clearly a dummy. Look at it. It's fatter than me. Oh, dear. But yeah, it was all fun, wasn't it? But he was the ringleader. Ron the ringleader has a kind of ring to it as well, doesn't it? It kind of works. So listen, guys, it's Good News Wednesday. I've already explained to you about my PC. I'm very happy about that. I'm getting games going very, very fast. I've been working on videos, very happy with that. And I'm knocking them out the park. That's made me happy too. We just landed a decent bit of business at the business. So that's made me even happier. And other stuff, which I won't bother with. I won't bother you with, but it's made me good. It's all good. It's your turn. Tell me. We've already had Ant's negative news about his back. He should have come yesterday, shouldn't he? Depressed Tuesday. I want your good news, guys. And I'm feeling generous today, even if it's... I'm not going to have... You're not going to get nothing for saying, oh, I just feel happy today. That ain't going to get you a prize. But anything that's just half decent. I'm going to give you a game because I feel generous. I'm not going to give one game out today. I want to be giving out multiple games. But in order to do that, I need you to give me some good news, and then we'll have a look at it before we make our way over to the wonderful world of the Good News website. I'm having a look. There's some interesting stuff in there. Elon Musk has been helping Putin. He's a nice chap, isn't he? Eh? How generous. It's lovely of him, really. We've got Kevin McCarthy is selling peaches to Joe Biden. That's nice, because I think he does like a bit of fruit. That's nice. Him and Marge are selling peaches to Biden. I think they're actually giving him one in a nice way. Rokk, I have some great news. Oh, no. He woke from a dream and he was as handsome as me. Mate, you're much more handsomer. You're much more handsomer than me. I'm not even handsomer. You're handsomer than I am. Look at the eyeballs. Look at that. Phoenix is watching you, mate. She ain't having none of this. She knows the difference between a good story and the same thing that you bring up every week. Come on, Crystal, you must have some good news. Come on, guys. Look, my pockets are burning with games that I want to give away. Steam games. Because I've got games and games aplenty. Got to watch that. It's on Disney now. Michael Joplin. You are a good-looking man. Well, thank you, Michael. That's much appreciated. I've gone all blushy. Bless you. Mind you, look at him. He's looking fairly handsome, isn't he? In his little avatar there. I think he is. Caseball, the best X-File episodes, the one with the human tapeworm guy. Oh, I remember that one. Gillian Anderson. Do you know what? Gillian Anderson, who lives in the UK now, I believe. I think she was Canadian, wasn't she? But I think, as well as being Canadian, I think either her mother or her father or both were British, which is why she can go. But she has one of the best English accents that I've ever heard a North American person do. Absolutely superb. There are others. The woman that played Diana in a recent movie, who was American, she did a cracking job. Yeah, absolutely. I ain't knocking the Gillian. She does it for me, Phoenix. You know what I like? I like an intelligent woman with a sense of humour. That's it. If they are passable physically, that's a bonus. But you know what? When the lights are off or your eyes are fading, it's the intellect and the humour that remains, not the facial skin deep stuff that goes. She was amazing in The Crown, yeah. Was she in The Crown? Was Gillian Anderson in The Crown? She may have. Oh yeah, no, she played Thatcher, didn't she? I think. Something like that. But no, you're right. Yeah, she's a cracking actress. She really is. And she just does the best. There aren't many, but obviously Zoe, what's her face? Big Pants. What was the film? What was it called again? Diary of a Woman. I forget what it's called. She was Thatcher in the Thatcher movie, wasn't she? Oh, the X-Files reboot. No, I couldn't be. No, Duchovny's got it all over me, mate. Californication. Yeah, somebody I know who will remain nameless has had a crush on Duchovny since was a child. Not me. Rokk, I do have real good news. Oh, come on, mate, get it. But I don't want a game. But I had an interview a few weeks ago and I didn't get it, all for a job. But I just got hired, where I'll be working from home from October the 10th. This is amazing news, Ant. Why don't you want a game, miserable old git? I could, I might have an Xbox game. I don't think I've got any PlayStation. That is great news though, my friend. Absolutely superb. Is it in the same kind of thing? Oh, that's good. I've been working from home myself. Yes, its ups and its downs. It's great for doing this kind of stuff, obviously, because I don't have to race home from the office. My office, as was all of a minute and a half down the road anyway. But make the game random and give it to someone. I will do this. I'll do this. I haven't got the wheels set up though. I tell you what, let's do it the old-fashioned way. And this is a way that I actually first saw done on Ant's show, so it's fitting. I'm going to pick a number. I'm going to just type it now. Right. I've picked a number between 1 and 100, right? The closest person to that number by, let's say, top of the hour wins 3 PC Steam codes. I can't say better than that. Hambly! Dude! It's Hambly, ladies and gentlemen. A very close friend of mine and the family. How are you, my friend? I hope you keep... Just finished work. That's awesome. Hambly's a big gamer. He loves a bit of the old Apex and Fortnite and all that malarkey. Good to see you, dude. Thank you for popping in. 57. That's almost my age, Crystal. I definitely wouldn't have written that down. Oh, don't, Crystal. I'm only, where is it now? 9, isn't it? We're at the 9th. I'm only 4 months away from 57, guys. I reckon at 57 I'll start to look like Captain Pugwash. I just had this thought. I'll show you. Diddly-dee, diddly-dee, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I don't know why. I just think. For a long time I was heading towards Tommy Cooper. But I think now I'm heading more towards Captain Pugwash. Hamberly says 42. Mate, sorry. I'm going to give... Listen, guys, you're going to be here all day. It's less than 50. Let's call it 1 to 50. And if you've tried, you can have another go. Don't worry. Less than 50. Seaman Staines. That never existed, Caseball. That's an urban myth. There was never Roger the Cabin Boy and Seaman Staines and all that, but it was funny. Whoa, people are getting closer. And so let's get ourselves over to Simple Larry. And I shall show you why I think I'm going to start looking like Captain Pugwash. It's me, I tell you. I'm not far from this. Diddly-dee, diddly-dee. Most of our American friends do not have a Scooby-Dooby on who Captain Pugwash is. He is a very old book. And it was a cartoon when I was a kid, as this is why Caseball knew. Caseball's not a million miles away from my veritable age. And Captain Pugwash was a cartoon when I was a kid in the 70s. A very, very popular cartoon. And he was quite funny. Oh, flipping heck, Camberley. You're getting very close, guys. I mean, you can have as many goes as you want, by the way. I've just seen that somebody has literally been 1 digit away. I tell you what, if more than one of you gets the number, we've got a bit of time to go yet. The first one gets 3, the rest will get a game as well. I'm feeling generous. I'm personally having a cracking week. And you're now seeing, I'll go back over them, don't worry. I'll do a proper look in a minute. I am definitely seeing myself as Captain Pugwash. I think that's a definite, that's going to come. Sadly, as I get older. He was so funny. So what Caseball is referring to here is that there was an old urban myth that the characters in Captain Pugwash all had rather risque names, like Roger the Cabin Boy. Rogering is a euphemism in the UK for, well, hey! Blue pill. But no, I don't even know that he was called Roger, actually. Let's have a Google of this. Captain Pugwash, urban myth. Let's see what it says. We could have asked. There's a persistent urban legend that ascribes sexually suggestive names to Captain Pugwash's characters, and indicating that the captain's name was a slang Australian term for... However, this is not true. The rumours stemmed from joke articles in the Student Rag in the 1970s, which turned into urban myth and then into truth. Fake news. The BBC did not take Captain Pugwash off the air because of the risque names. It's true, it's a load of old bilge. But it is a lovely, lovely cartoon. There was loads of them when I was a kid. Mr. Ben. I used to love Mr. Ben. Finger Mouse or Finger Bobs. They were great cartoons. Fat Furry Cat Puss. I forgot what it was called. I just remember that bit. A fat furry cat puss, which in itself sounds a bit like an urban myth. What, Rokk? There was a kid's show about a fat furry cat puss? That's it, Bagpuss. Thank you, mate. The Bagpuss was a thing. I know, again, you wouldn't get away with it these days, would you? I mean, it's not a cartoon about some old lady. Let me just put this out there. Whoops. Bagpuss. It's look, here he was. Oh, this was Madeleine the Rag Doll. Oh, I remember them all. I remember them all, bless them. There he is, look. Bagpuss. And there was Professor Yoffle, the old wooden cuckoo, and the little mice. And here is, I'm going to bring this home, guys. I'm bringing it home. You ready for this? You ready for this? So my youngest, I've called Charlie Mouse her entire life. She doesn't know why, but I shall tell you. Because one of the mice there we go. One of the mice was called Charlie Mouse. Oh, there you go. So she is Charlie Mouse. Although Charlie Mouse was a male mouse, it don't matter. No? Don't matter. It's an interchangeable name in this day and age. Gabriel the Frog. I can remember them all. Oh, they were great times. Great times of innocence. Lovely jubbly. I think they were innocent. I mean, I'm hoping that the writers weren't having a bit of a joke on us. Bagpuss. I didn't realise there was 2 S's. Bagpuss. It's even worse. Bagpuss. What's he saying? Rokk, the job that I've been at for almost 4 years, I don't get to use my skill sets. Now, fair shout. But the job I got, I'll be able to help people by taking their calls and setting up transportation for them. Wow. Is it like an air traffic controller? Hey, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Roger. Do you remember Airplane? Roger? Roger. I forget the skit now. It's so funny. They all had kind of affirmation names like Roger, Wilco. I forget what they were called, but it was just brilliant movie. Let me see. Let me have a little look over the preceding numbers and see where anybody's got any close here. Right, okay. It's below there. Let's have a look. So first up, there were lots of high numbers. I thought it's not fair. I need to get you guys to bring them down. So we got them down. Humbley came in with a 42, 25 from Michael, 50 from Ron, 17 from Crystal, 39 from Caseball, 23 from Hamberley, 10 from Ron, 24 from Caseball, 11 from Michael. He's punching them in there. Ron's gone in at a 13. Caseball has come back with a 25. Ron's come in at a 22. They're honing in here, guys. Ron again with a 12 there. And then we're into Bagpuss. Everyone's forgotten. Crystal's coming with 18. Clive's in the house, ladies and gent. He's so right, you know. Emily did love him. It was all a bit incestuous and animal love and stuff. I don't really know what was going on with Bagpuss and the fat furry cat puss. Andy Pandy. See, Andy Pandy scared me, Phoenix. Just like for Clive, it was the test card lady that used to put the willies up Clive. How was your trip to France, my friend? Photos look great. Last guess, says Hamberley. What's he gone for? Let's have a look. So we've got Andy Pat. I tell you, Hector's house. Oh, Hector. I loved Hector's house. It was Kiki the cat. Rent a Ghost. Oh, fantastic show. Rent a Ghost. Shirley, you can't be serious. Oh, yeah. I'm late, but hello, Eddie. How are you, dude? We got Renaissance Men. Hey, good news, guys. I'm glad. Renaissance Men Stu is here because it's prompted me a little bit of selling on behalf of the Renaissance Men this coming Friday, as well as team members Friday. I want to know a game, you know, we do good game. I don't know why Bruce entered into that conversation, but he's always welcome. Good on you, Bruce. Yeah, so straight after Team Rokk Friday, once I've eaten my salad or whatever it is I've got, I'm going to be jumping into Renaissance Men guest hosting with Stu. It's going to be fantastic. Hamberley's come in with a 14 there. He says it's his last guess. Well, that's a shame, mate. And you'll find out why in a minute. What have I come into, mate? Do you know what? There's more innuendos than there are in the average Carry On film in today's show. We've had Fat Furry Catpus. We've had Captain Pugwasher. No, it was all urban myth. We've exploded this. Excellent pimping, Rokk. Good boy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Uncle Stu. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I love doing a show with them boys. It's just me and you, isn't it? Jimbo's away with the whatever he's doing. 15, that was Michael's last guess. I can see I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. Everybody is running out of steam. Brucey bonus. Oh, he was brilliant, wasn't he, Bruce? I mean, he was just a genius. A real shame if he'd have been in America. You can imagine how massive he would have been in the States. He was an absolute natural. So that was Michael's last guess. Right. Well, we're very close. I'm going to let you guys have 2 more minutes. Remember, there's 3 PC Steam codes up. That was 3. I just need to make sure you notice that's 3. Right? And anybody that's got it as well after the first person, they get a game as well. Unless you all hook into it. And, I tell you what it is and then you come back. That's not going to be happening. Bruce would. He would, though, Michael. You're right, mate. He would have been as big easily. It was definitely that kind of time as well, wasn't it? It was that, that was when he became really, really, really big. And then, it was Saturday Night at the Palladium, wasn't it, Clive? And then, of course, he did all of his game shows. It was great. I actually bumped into Bruce Forsyth. Or was it Bob Monkhouse? Actually, now I say it, I think it was Bob Monkhouse. We won't go there. That's a funny story, but it's not too favourable on Bob. Bless him. Jimmy Savile I met twice. I genuinely did meet Jimmy Savile twice, Caseboard. And I'm sure I've said this in the past. I know I've definitely spoken about it with Clive. I met him in 1984, I think, first time. Literally on Top of the Pops. I don't know how I managed to blag some tickets. And I took my then girlfriend, the young and pleasant Jackie. And it was his last ever. It was his last ever show that he did on Top of the Pops. And just goes to show, some time ago. And she pinched his bottom. I bet she wishes she hadn't now. I don't think he ever responded. And then many, hello Unitrix, how are you, dude? Many years later, 2013, I don't know when he died, a couple of years before he died, I bumped into him at Lympstone Marine Camp because he was always hassling the Marines. He was always the one. He would be there at the opening of an envelope and they'd have to put him up because apparently he did like a stiff one, did Jimmy. I'm just practicing for Friday. I'm practicing for Friday. Let me get away with it. Come on, what's wrong with you? But yeah, so I met him twice. I'd chatted to him for a while. He's a little fella. They all are, aren't they? The smallest man I've ever met, other than Rishi Sunak, who is genuinely microscopic. I mean, you could pop him in your top pocket, Rishi. The smallest man I ever met of a celebrity status was Noel Edmonds. The guy's a midget. He's tiny. Hello, Noel. I mean, Keith Chegwin looked short against Noel Edmonds, so imagine how short Keith was. Keith and I became actually quite good Twitter friends. I met Maggie Philbin a couple of times. Oh, I'm so name dropping today. I was invited into. She'd won a contract with the government, Maggie, to promote sciences and maths and computing and stuff for schoolgirls. And it's something that my business has always been into, trying to kind of boost female interest in said subject. So I got involved with that and worked with her for a bit, and she's actually really nice. Really, really, really nice lady. But kind of unbeknownst to her, I'd also made friends with Keith, because the story is they were once married. And poor old Keith, he went, he liked a bit of the old... Keith. Bless, he's no longer with us. I don't know. I can't remember what he died of, but it could well have been related. He had a drink problem and, stuff. But I always liked the guy. And I met Keith. Here we go. I met him before we became Twitter friends because there was a show called The Big Breakfast Show with Chris Evans, who, by the way, is not in a good way. I don't know if you English folk know this. Chris Evans has rather nasty skin cancer. Bless him. Noel did, and still, no, he's moved to New Zealand now, actually, Sam, Noel Edmonds. He's no longer in the UK. He basically lost most of his money through a fraud of NatWest, I think it was NatWest business staff. And they got arrested and were duly punished. But he never got his money. And they refused to compensate him, bless him. So he toddled on. He went a bit insane. But he did okay with, the whole kind of that telephone thing he did and what have you. I mean, he's always got the Midas touch. He's always done well. But now he's gone off to New Zealand. He's doing some rather weird stuff down there. Bless him. I think life has had its toll on him. But I met Keith Chegwin during a filming of the Big Breakfast Show, not the late thing. The Big Breakfast Show. And he was, back in those days, he was knocking on people's doors and saying, you had to say a phrase or something and you got a prize. Anyway, I entered a competition on the Big Breakfast. I had to go on the phone and I had to answer a question, and I won a massive TV. I'm pre the flat screens. This thing was like the size of a room. And I bumped into him and I said, "Oh, Keith, thank you so much, my friend." He was having a fag. I thought, oh no, there's nothing worse than seeing your old celebrity mates having a cigarette, is there? All right, mate, yeah, this is me. I can relax. It's not me now. You want a drag? You dude, you're good. You're good. But I got on right with him and I became chums with him. The other person that I really shouldn't be friendly with, because he and I are diametrically opposed on a political level, but we are quite good friends, is James Whale, the aforementioned shock jock, who used to have his own show. He's not in a great way either, bless him. But if you can move past people's politics, usually they're okay. You've just kind of got to get past it. And underneath it, he's all right. There you go. I've dropped a few there today. There are some more, but we won't go down that road. It was a great show, Michael, wasn't it? Until it all kind of went a bit. But it was it was kind of days before health and safety. I watched a brilliant show the other day. Mr. Blobby! Blobby had Blobby basically converted Cricket St. Thomas, didn't he? They Cricket St. Thomas used to be like a safari park with a big house down here. Actually, I think it was in Somerset, but it was on the border of Devon. And when Noel Edmonds convinced them to create half of it like a theme park for this bizarre creation called Mr. Blobby. Let's bring him up because my American friends are getting some cultural lessons today. Mr. Blobby! There he is. I mean, it's a bizarre thing that somebody knocked up during literally one meeting where they said, let's come up with a stupid character. And they were going to use it to, what you do when they kind of pretend something's real to a celebrity and they con them and stuff. But he became such a big thing in the show that he became very, very popular and he kind of exploded. And yeah, they did. They had Blobby World, which was actually Cricket St. Thomas. It all eventually died, massive death. And there he is, there's Noel. Now look, you can actually see in this picture, he was not the biggest of people. This is not a camera angle, I'm kidding you not. He looks perfectly formed. So when you see him on camera, he looks like he could be 6 foot. He's got all his proportions. But he was a tiny little fella. Tiny little chap. Of what? What have I missed? Mr. Blobby or Takashi's Castle thing? Yeah, that was good. There was like the Crystal Maze as well, which was really cool. Clive, what was the name of the guy that did Crystal Maze, the original one? Richard Doofer, that did the Shop of Horrors. He wrote the Shop of Horrors, didn't he? I think Richard. You'll know, Clive's brilliant at this stuff. He just comes from his brain. It's amazing. I kind of have a loose remembrance, but I can't get the names and stuff. Richard somebody. Anyway, yeah, Crystal Maze. This is what Richard O'Brien. Thank you, Sat. See what I'm saying about intelligent women that got a good sense of humor. In Sam's case, she's got the looks as well, so she's got all the 3 boxes ticked. I'm not having it from you, mate. Too late. Richard O'Brien, she was there, but it was Little Shop of Horrors that he wrote, wasn't it? What did he write? Hang on. Richard O'Brien wrote. That's the dude anyway. He wrote Rocky Horror. There you go. That's what I meant. Rocky Horror Show. Which must have set him up massively financially anyway. That's why it was quite bizarre that he did the Crystal Maze, because by then it was still huge. He wrote it. He wrote it. He wrote the musical stage show, The Rocky Horror Show. All right. So here's wealth. Let's have a look. Net worth. Let's see, one of my favourite websites. It's not that one. Where is it? Celebrity net worth. Here we go. So we'll pop in here. Richard. I've got a new mouse come just now. Oh, I found this before. It won't let you type anything. So that's rubbish, isn't it? If you click on the logo or go to a personage. No, still not doing it. The reason is I don't know. We'll just do it in the thing up here. Hang on. Richard O'Brien. There he is. Net worth. It's significant because he's still, as far as I'm aware, still has the rights to it. Nearly $16 million, but that was probably a few years back. So don't forget, there was a movie. There's the merch. There's a percentage of whenever it gets shown, wherever it gets shown. He's doing all right, his old Richard. He's got to be getting on now, though. I mean, he wrote this in 1970, I think. But he was fairly young in those days. Rocky Horror. There you go. We lives and we learns. Rocky Horror. Riff Raff. He was in Rocky Horror. He wrote it. Don't be giving none of that. He was in it. Right. I can tell you, ladies and gents, because you've all given up, that 2 of you had the correct number. And I'm going to tell you who that was in a second. But before I do that, I just want to skim up above. If you have given this, if you said this number, right, and I didn't spot it, then let me know. And if you're above the person that did get it, then you will get the 3, but the other persons will get 1. So the number, ladies and gentlemen, on my coffee-stained notepad was, drum roll, Swiss roll, I don't care. Here it is. 16. Woo! It's out of focus, but you can see it. The 1 and the 6. 16. There you go. 2 8s. 4 4s. 8 2s. It's all them. That's exactly what it is. Now, I think K-Sport was the first one with the 16. Because I'm just going to find it down here. Here we go. It was a little bit after we were talking about Summit. No, it's before there. Hamberley, this is why I chuckled a bit when you said my last one. It was either 17 or 14, you said. There we go. So K-Sport was with it at 47, just over 10 minutes ago. Ironically, right underneath came Ron in with 15. So close. Was Jimmy Savile big in the US? No, I don't think they knew him at all in the US, other than the Louis Theroux show, because Louis is big in the States. They do love his stuff. Loved Bruce on Strictly. Yeah. Do you know, funny enough, I never liked the show then. Now, I kind of like it. I'm wondering whether it's an age thing, Sam. Not in your case, because I think it's definitely a lady thing. But I found myself of late watching Bake Off with the wife, enjoying a bit of Bake Off, Celebrity Come Dancing or whatever. I mean, you must be really enjoying it if you come dancing, mustn't you? I mean, that's how I look at it. Blobby. I'm just trying to see. I'm sure somebody else came in with a 16 as well. Maybe it was just you, K-Sport. Maybe it was just you. Love a bit of Bake Off. Yeah, I do. I love a bit of Bake Off. Funny enough, the wife made a nice bit of fruit loaf cake this afternoon. Now, I've got to be careful because I'm on the low carb diet again. But I did just have a crumb. You know, just a kind of man-sized crumb. No, I think it was just you. I thought I saw someone else. I know Michael was in with 15. You were so close, brother. So close. And Hamberley came in with 14. That's because I said, oh, that's close. I think everybody went, clue time. Very, very close. Very, very close. So they go, oh, look at this. Crystal was in at 18. Crystal was close as well. Just 2 ahead. Because I think prior to that, Crystal, you'd come in at 17. You were very, very, very close. Ron had dropped to 13. He was very close as well. Ant didn't want to win, so he never bothered to enter. There you go. Crystal was in at 17. 1 out, guys. So many of you are just 1 out. But there is a clear winner. It is my good friend from Ubisoft in the UK, up in the northeast, beautiful part of the world, which I've yet to get to. Actually, I desperately want to, because it has always, since Auf Wiedersehen, it's been my favourite accent in the UK. Working all day for a packet of pay, that's living all right. I love that show. Loved it. What a cracking show. Was that Ian Frene that wrote that? Oh, we're having a right old trip down memory UK lane, aren't we? Who wrote Auf Wiedersehen? Frank Rodham. Oh, hang on. Series created by Frank Rodham. I have no idea. There you go. I was right. Ian Frene and Dick Clement. There you go. So there was an idea by Mick Connell. Frank Rodham created the series, and Dick Clement and Ian Frene, who were well-known, absolute legendary comedy writers, the Likely Lads, one of my favourite shows of all time. When I was a kid, is this a bad thing? Bearing in mind I was only 6, but I had a crush on one of those guys. I don't know why. I think it was like a man thing. It was like, I just thought, I'd love to have him as my friend. And I kind of mistook it, for like, I wonder if I could marry him. Whatever happened to the Likely Lads, there was Likely Lads originally, and then it took a break for a bit, and then it came back in the 70s as Whatever Happened to the Likely Lads, which is when I picked it up as a young boy. And Porridge, just Porridge, ladies and gentlemen, particularly my American friends. All of these are amazing shows. They're a little bit British, and you may not necessarily pick up the humour. But Porridge was absolute genius comedy, starring Ronnie Barker, one of our, now deceased sadly, but one of our best comedy actors and comedy writers of all time. Porridge is Porridge is an old term that used to be, if you were doing porridge, you were basically going to prison. It was you were doing your time. I think because back in the 18th, 17th century, whatever, you never got anything to eat other than porridge. So that was essentially where it came from. Or if you went to the workhouse, you only got like a gruel, which is kind of a porridge. I think that's where it comes from. But yeah, Auf Wiedersehen, absolutely. I mean, jot these down, folk from outside the UK, and Google them, because I'm telling you now, you will not be disappointed. So we've done Pugwash, we've done Bagpuss, we've done Mr. Ben, we've done Bruce in a nice way, we've done Jimmy Savile not such a nice way, we've done Auf Wiedersehen, we've done Porridge, we've just tripped Light Fantastic. So I just got a message saying, breaking news, are you ready, Adam? I think it's just a sales newsletter email thing, where it's like they got your name in a database. So I'm going to ignore it for now. Anyway, gents, ladies, and other people, let's make our way across to our Good News Network website. We love this, don't we? Particularly on a Wednesday, on our Good News Wednesday. So listen, K-Spore, my good friend, you have won 3 games. But if you remember Ant, very early in the proceedings, who delivered his great news about having a new job, say, I don't want a game from you, Rokk. I don't want your game. I'm looking this gift horse in the mouth, and I don't want it. So there. I was mildly offended, but only mildly. He said, give it to somebody else. He did, didn't he? So who else was close? Hello, Adam. Works crazy. Who else was close? Let me see. Let's see. We had Crystal at 17, so she was literally very close. Right, so we had Crystal at 17. Did we get any other? Did we get a... We got Ron at 15, didn't we? We did. We got the Slusher at 15. Yeah, so we're looking for 15s and 17s. So we got a Crystal... because I can't give to a 17 without giving to a 15. That's you know, that's like ascensionist, which is kind of a word anyway, but it's, you know, it's not correct, is it? I'm fairly certain that Michael said 15. 15 will do you, my friend. That gets you a game. Yes, he did. There it is. I've found the evidence. So let me make a little note of this. Caseball gets 3 games. Okay, Michael gets a game. Yeah, Michael Jopling gets 1. Crystal gets a game because she was there with the 17. Right? Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Is it cheating to say 16? Yes, it is, Eddie. It is, mate. If I was Republican, I'd let you get away with it. But I like to abide by law and rules. That's how society. That's how we, you know, it's how we do our thing moving forward in the world, by adhering to rules and laws. If we just went around the world saying, cheat, just cheat, it don't matter, we'd all be blonde with a golden tan, 330 pounds with red hats. We would. Bruce would have been as he would have been, mate. He would have been. So we got Ron. Oh yeah, Ron. We got Ron as well. So I've got a game for Ron. Later, Ron gets his there. He gets one. I'm making a little note of this. I didn't mean to do that with the middle finger. Sorry, it's a habit. Crystal tells me off about it. Actually, I do it quite often on the show. Don't know why. I think it's maybe a subconscious thing. Up yours, audience. We can blank that out. We can put a pixelation over it. You know, after the show, we do all that after the show. What are we classing as tiny? I struggle most days at 5'7". No, he was less than that, mate. Much less than that. I'm probably, I'm a bit unfair because I'm just tickling 6'3". I'm not quite 6'3". I'm tickling it. But he had to be half my size. Well, without making 3 foot. I'm making 3 foot something. He must have been taller than that. He wasn't tall though. He was a little fella. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just putting it out there because he doesn't look short on the telly. Nothing wrong with height. Nothing wrong with height. That's it. I think I've got everybody. So we got Caseball for 3. We've got Michael Jopling for 1. We have got Crystal with 1. And we got young Ron with 1 as well. So I'm going to be giving away 6 games today, ladies and gents. I think that's awesome. I do. I think that's beyond generous, quite honestly. You got your money's worth, haven't you? Are you not entertained? Let's have a look at the news. What we got over here quickly, because I don't know what's going on else in the world. I don't know. Is William streaming these days? Is he back on yet? I don't know that he is he? Let's go and have a look. Let's have a quick look, because, you know, I don't want to be taking up no one's time. Well, we got Barkley. Barkley often streams about the same time as me. I don't know why, but he does. And he's normally star fielding. Oh, no, today's doing the crew. Motorfest. Look at this. So this is the new thing from Ubisoft, is it? Well, it looks a bit pants. Caseball? That looks terrible, mate. It looks like a mobile game. Is this all this is what you guys have been working on for a year? Wow. And you want me to play this? I'm paying $15 a month. Look at it, guys. It's got floating balls in the sky. What's going on? I tell you what they've done here, guys. They've only got some AI generated artwork. That's what's going on. And it's not even new stuff. It's not even like Midjourney Gen 2. This is old school AI they've gone and nicked. Wow. I've seen it all now. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, Barkley. Bless you, my friend. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to be stepping on anybody's toes. So here we go. We'll have a quick run through with the old good news. The old good news. The old good news. First up, it says here, already scrapped wind turbines, which is actually a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen, because we've just won a big, like a massive piece of business from a company that manages wind turbines. How coincidental is that? Oh, wow. Do I get a free game? No. Shut up and do it on the news. Already scrapped wind turbines turned into footbridges. What? Capable of supporting 30... What are you on about? Footbridges. They're like 80 feet tall, aren't they? What's that all about? I just want to see pictures. I don't want to read it today. I haven't got time. I want to go and do some more video work. I don't know. There's a load of concrete. Concrete's not a good thing to be talking about in the UK at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I think we should park that story. I'm not so sure it's a good one. Oh, is this good? Look. Long lost sketch by John Constable found in an old suitcase. Look at that. Wow. So old John Constable, landscape artist from 1803, there you go. Apparently he was off on a trip with his suitcase. Like you're supposed to put like a pink sticker, like you get some pink tape, don't you? You wrap it around your suitcase. So when it comes in on the conveyor belt, you know it's your suitcase. That's what we do, and we never fail. Pink, quick, grab it. Obviously, Constable didn't think to do that. So he's gone. His suitcase has gone around and around on the conveyor belt at the airport in 1803. Having got in on Concorde or whatever was flying about in those days, he's completely lost his suitcase and his old master, which would have set him up for life, ladies and gentlemen. Because I don't know if they've got a value here, but I'm telling you now, it's got to be worth millions. Let's have a look. What? Predicted to sell for as much as $150,000? Short-changed, pal. Hold out for millions. See that beautiful picture there? Wivenhoe Park by John Constable. A watercolourist, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So there you go. It's thought that a handwritten note on the back of the picture may have been penned by a family member. Yeah, all right. So this wasn't a Constable. Well, it was, but it was done by Maggie Constable, his elder aunt. And they're trying to fob it off as one of his. Jeez, I've seen it all now. That's not good news. That's fraud. This is a nice story. Look at this. Look. A bank decides that it should have prevented dementia depositor from getting scammed, so it has reimbursed his entire life savings. That's brought a little weepy to me, that has. Look at him. Dementia's it's close to my heart at the moment. It's Clive. What's Clive doing there? Clive's sneaking into the picture. Look at that. From Australia, this one comes a story of corporate responsibility in the face of personal tragedy. Look at that. He went 500,000 Australian, which is about twice UK. So we're talking about 250 grand. Not an insignificant chunk of cash, though, ladies and gentlemen. And he's had it returned to him out of the bank's own pocket. Oh, bless. He'd been tricked by scammers into revealing. You don't think Clive was taking him down the bank to grab his money in this picture, do you? Because I know Clive is not a poor man. He's at the top of the BBC. He earns a fortune. This wouldn't be Clive. I think it's just a looky-likey sneaking in. He'd been tricked by scammers into revealing his banking information, which an inquest at ANZ Bank, that's Australia New Zealand Bank, found was something they should have been able to detect. My wife works for a bank and she detected 2 fraudulent checks this week. Pat on the head. No bonus. And stop before the scammers pilfered every last cent of the depositor's life savings. 78-year-old Alex Shaw, recently diagnosed with dementia. Hang on a minute. I don't want to pour water on this story because it's a lovely story. He's only just been diagnosed. I mean, how bad was he? I mean, was he at the full, where am I? Let me out stage? Or was he simply at the, I've forgotten where I put my watch. Oh, there it is stage. In which case, I don't The jury's out on whether he would have been compos mentis on this one. But let's give him the doubt, because they did. The bank did. And, why not? The bank didn't lose this money. Poor Alex did. It was a big surprise to his son, Victor. The news came just a few days after he'd gone in with Alex to their local branch of the Australia and New Zealand Banking Group, ANZ, and were told that Alex had been the victim of a scam. And that the roughly $460,000, see, they've already shaved $40,000 off of it. You know what's going on here, don't you? Amassed throughout his working life, bless him. Victor understood it was generally known that scam victims are rarely reimbursed. It's true. Noel Edmonds, ladies and gentlemen. We've only just covered it. In fact, in a weird kind of galactic coincidence, we started by saying that poor Noel had been ripped off by banking staff and had fled to New Zealand to spend his last few years. And look at this. In a complete reversal of fortune, this chap at the New Zealand bank had been scammed of his cash, and the bank gave it all to him. I bet Noel's read this and he's cried. I bet he's cried real tiny tears like the little dolly. Tiny tears. I didn't mean to explain it, by the way. I just thought it was funny. If the Shaws were to have any hope of recovering the money, they would have to understand whether or not the withdrawals was something the bank should have prevented. But just kind of dragging the story out a bit here. Look, he got scammed. They gave him his money back. That's the story. And I think it's a good story. But not if you're Noel Edmonds, because this must have really upset Noel when he read this. He must have. I mean, for a start, it would have been quite heavy with his laptop, because Noel's laptop is like a chest of drawers to the rest of us. He has to put it on a sack, on like those things on wheels. He has to literally put it on there and wheel it over to the coffee table. And then he has to climb up, gets up onto the coffee table, and with a crowbar, he pierces open the lid of his laptop. And then his one little hand covers an entire key on the keyboard. So it takes him hours to type it in. And what's he met with? Some dude in Australia got his money back. Noel's like, no. Sorry, Noel. That's just the way it goes, mate. Scotland claims it's found 5,000-year-old monument on a par with Stonehenge. Them old Scots. I know what they're up to. Somebody's gone and buried some patio stones just outside of Glasgow. That's what's happened here. They've put them in a nice arranged circle, and they've gone, Stonehenge. Scots Henge. I bet they're calling it Scots Henge. Let's have a look. It's on the Isle of Arran. There's a song about that. National archaeologists are abuzz that a new cursus has been found that is proving to be the most complete and best preserved monument of this kind ever found in Britain. Come on, where does it say it's called Scots Henge? I'm not going to bed till I see it. A cursus is not a stone circle, but a rather massive earthwork. And this one was found at a place called Drumadune, which was built by Neolithic farmers about 3,500 BCE. Where does it say Scots Henge? Come on, let me just type it in. I want to find it. Scots Henge. What? Nobody has thought to call it Scots Henge. Wow. Rubbish. No imagination north of the border. And then we're back to where we started last time. Look, youth pulls £2.6 million of trash from an Indonesian... Oh, no, we didn't do that one, did we? An inspired youth pulls £2.6 million of trash from Indonesian rivers. What? Is he Rain Man? Wow, look at that. It's a bit like that other story we looked at, isn't it? Oh, bless. He doesn't look much of a youth, though. But, I mean, he maybe was at one point. Sungai Watch staff. Hang on. Sungai Watch staff clearing plastic. Oh, we see. You should have read the story. In Indonesia, the worsening plastic pollution crisis has led young Sam Benchej to start Sungai Watch, an environmental organisation dedicated to keeping Indonesia's waterways clean. He's got a bit of a job, and this is what it's getting like in Britain now, guys. Illegal dumping of sewage in the UK. Not not quite as bad as this, in fairness. Where does the river end and the pollution begin? That's what I want to know. When does it not be called? When do you stop calling it a river when it is quite clearly a tip? Wow. Wow. Plastic's terrible, isn't it? It's the literal demise. So many things at the moment are gathering on the horizon to, usher in the extinction of mankind. But it's Good News Wednesday. Let's park it until Bad News Thursday. We can do that. Anyway, lots of good news. We've had a great show. I've loved the show. I love this show. This is my favourite show. I don't know why, but it is. I just love it. I just get to let my hair down and we have fun, don't we? So many games. I've got to go organise codes and things now. So much work. I hope you feel sorry for me. I hope you do. Ladies, gentlemen, and other types, thank you very, very much for joining me. It's been a corker of a show. I've certainly enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Apologies for the abortion at the beginning, and by which I don't mean anything that may be illegal in America. I'm talking about the fact that it aborted, and I don't know why. I still don't know why, but it's what it is. Wonderful Wednesday. Oh, Sam, where were you a month ago when we were trying to come up with a cracking name for Good News Wednesday? Wonderful Wednesday. That's it. I'm officially going to rename it Wonderful Wednesday. So much so that I've got my Bic on. It's why she's paid the big bucks in marketing. Wonderful Wednesday. Oh, bless her. It's a bright kid. It's bright. It's like a light bulb. Brilliant. Have yourselves an absolutely terrific Wednesday, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening. It doesn't really matter. There's still hours of it left. Unless you're in Australia, in which case it may not be the case. You may have just been coming up to the very end. But if it is, I hope you had a great one. Thursday. Rokk, just don't use We Wrestle Wednesday. No. And I bet you chuckle every time I say Clive works at the BBC as well, don't you? Because that's the kind of mentality you've got, mate. If you were there, you know, right? That's it. I think I'm doing a show tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure, simply because I don't really want to step on Bjorn's shoes with rock players. It's a great show that involves news, and why should I spoil it with my effort earlier in the day? And so many other people do cracking. Clive does a cracking cloud gaming news show on a Thursday. It doesn't need me. You guys need a break from me one day in the week. So I may not do anything tomorrow. I will be back on Friday, though, with Team Rokk Friday. More game giveaways and fun, followed swiftly by me joining the Renaissance Men, which will be fun, because I can't help it with Stu. He brings out the worst in me. You'll have to watch it to see what I mean. The only thing is, I hope he doesn't cover any wrestling news. Now, I know that's going to be, Ant's going to be upset with me over that. But I don't get it. I don't get the whole wrestling thing. I don't understand. It's just male ballet. No, they do hurt themselves. Well, yeah, but they do. But it's not like boxing, is it? Where the whole objective is to hurt themselves. The objective here is to make it look like they hurt themselves. And if they end up hurting themselves, sorry. I like a bit of rugby myself. A bit of NFL as well. Don't mind a bit of that. That's a proper men's sports. That's what them's is. Anyway, World Cup rugby at the moment. I haven't seen a single game. So that's kind of proves my loyalty to the sport, doesn't it? Get out of here, Rokk. I hear you. I'm out of here. I'm getting out of here. It's just a male. I know, mate. I know. But I don't get it because I've not grown up with it. It's not part of my heritage. But I do get why you guys like it. And, and it's a bit... It's the old Greek wrestling thing, isn't it? It's the Oliver Reed, oily nakedness in front of the fire. It's all that stuff. And I get that. It's not wrong. It's not wrong to have a completely naked wrestle with a friend of yours in front of the fire with oil now and again. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's a good thing. It should be encouraged. Indians did it, didn't they, in sweat lodges and stuff. Rock, I asked you about your thoughts on the Mexican aliens shown today. I haven't seen anything about Mexican aliens today, Ant. What? Hang on, you can't be doing this to me right at the end of the show. I wonder where that was all coming from. Mexican aliens. Oh, what? Are you joking? Look at that thing. That's made out of plaster of Paris. New footage of... Hang on. Oh, just when I was out, you had to pull me back in. So... Ant is wanting me to be impressed by what is clearly a plaster of Paris. Actually, it's not. Look, they've done X-ray scans, apparently. Lad Bible, get out of it. Mexican government release X-ray scans of 2 alien bodies that it has in its possession. This is like a good news thing to me, to be honest with you. X-ray scans of the 2 alien bodies that were displayed during a public hearing in Congress this week have been released by the Mexican government. That one, obviously, they couldn't tell it. They didn't want anyone to see that one. The bodies, which have been referred to as non-humans, were... Hello, Neil. How are you, my friend? Were presented... I lost my plot. Hang on, I've lost my bit. Mexico's first public congressional hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomena. Also known as UFOs on Tuesday. X-ray scans of... See, now look, I'm going to just throw this out there. It was said many, many moons ago, and it's kind of gone into mythology, that E.T. was actually largely based on evidence that Spielberg had seen on little aliens. I'm not being funny, but that does look a bit like E.T., doesn't it? The rest of it, though, come on, guys, that's a sand sculpture. And it's not even a good one. And that's just a pomegranate. That's just a photograph of a pomegranate is all that is. These aren't beings that were found at a UFO wreckage. They were found in algae mines. What? Is that a thing? And were later fossilized. During the public hearing, Mawson showed US officials and members of the Mexican government videos of UFOs and unidentified anomalous phenomena before he unveiled the alleged alien corpses. Oh, I'm not going to get started on this. Look at this. This is interesting. These are proper... What the heck's this? Proper X-rays. Yeah, I mean, there's interesting skull shape going on. X-rays of the 2 alleged aliens were also shown, with experts testifying under oath that one of them is seen to have eggs inside of it. Flipping heck. Now, this goes back to... I'm going to drop this and run, because I genuinely want to let you guys go. Do you remember we had a conversation a few shows back now, it may have been a Wednesday, where I suggested, and in fact I even clipped it and popped it up as a short, I suggested that what we classify as little greys, aliens, or what have you, actually are an evolution of dinosaurs that escaped extinction. Do you remember me saying about this? And they either got off the Earth eventually, or they went into the Earth, or they went into the Antarctic, or they went under the sea, or whatever they did. Because do you remember me saying, we're talking hundreds of millions of years ago. We've only been on the planet a couple of million years, and we've already got this bulbous brain, and we're about to kill ourselves, but that's another story. So there's no reason to assume these guys wouldn't have evolved to a bipedal intellectual self. And of course, their reptilian history, their reptilian background would mean they would lay eggs. So this kind of fits into my little theorem. Wow. And thank you for bringing this to my attention, my friend. I shall listen out to my good friend, Howard Hughes, who is another friend of mine, it's true. He runs the world's most successful podcast called The Unexplained with Howard Hughes. Actually, check it out. He's amazing. He has one of the best radio voices. He also does a TV show as well, but sadly it's on talk radio, so most of you don't want to be watching that, but he's amazing. And he'll be covering this off. Look at that. Putin's even popped in. Look at that. Wow. Brilliant. I've got all excited now. Thank you, Ant, you lovely little human being, for that one. Yeah, Rokk, I only asked you for 4 times. Mate, I'm sorry, but I was off on one today. There we go. That's why I didn't see it, by the way. If I have the YouTube chat hidden by another browser window, it doesn't come up on the side, so I don't see it on the screen. You see? They're all coming up now, look, from, I don't know when, ages ago. 1 minute ago. Right, get out of here. I've had enough of you. You've outstayed your welcome. Let me go and get your game sorted. I won't see you tomorrow, I've decided. That's it. No protests. I will see you Friday. And we'll have a cracking time. And I'm going to go and research aliens while I'm putting another video together. And maybe I'll play some Starfield. And don't get upset, mate. I can't help it. I can't, you know. You stop the whole show in your show and you go, right, let's read the chat. And you work your way. I'm juggling it with my improv. That takes a bit of work, mate. Come on. Give a guy a break. There he is. He's so upset with me. Mexican aliens. Wow. What do you reckon? I could come up with so many jokes. I'm not going to do it. It's racist. Stop it, Sam. It's your fault. I love you too, brother. You have a cracking day. Have a fantastic... I'll see you Friday. I'm getting the hell out of here. Thank you for popping in. Really appreciated it. It was a good show. One of the best. They always are on a Wednesday, aren't they? Right, I'm going to go and grab my things and get my trolley and head for under the bridge, as I do after every show. And if you want to put a quid or $1 in my cup, if you see me there, I actually say we'll stream for food. So if you see me, pop $1 in my little tray, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Rock out.